So let's look at the statistics. The United States is home to 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners. Think about that. Our incarceration rate is 4 times higher than China's. We keep more people behind bars than the top 35 European countries combined. And it hasn't always been the case.
Like President Obama stated, this hasn't always been the case in America. According to AJ+, up until the early 1970s, the United States incarceration rate virtually matched Europe's. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, in 1972, our prison population was 300,000 people and has exploded to roughly 2.3 million people today. This problem can be better put into perspective by looking at states' general and prison populations compared to countries around the world. For example, Louisiana has roughly the same number of incarcerated people despite having a 38 million citizen deficit compared to Argentina. According to AJ+, beginning in the 1970s, the United States started to make changes to its justice system, shifting its focus to punishment rather than reforming the offender. This can be seen when comparing the percent of people jailed in the United States compared to Germany. The result of these changes is much harsher laws and policies that especially penalize nonviolent drug offenders and inadvertently overpenalize minorities.
Over the last few decades, we've also locked up more and more nonviolent drug offenders than ever before for longer than ever before. And that is the real reason our prison population is so high.
The war on drugs is the main contributor to the United States' outrageously high prison population. As reported by TestTube News, with 16% of state inmates and 50% of federal inmates locked up for drug-related crimes, you can see where the focus has been put for our justice system. Attempting to crack down on recreational drug use, the war on drugs unintentionally created the 100-to-1 sentencing disparity, according to AJ+. Until recently, possessing 500 grams of powder cocaine carried the same 5-year minimum sentence that 5 grams of crack cocaine did. This created a large racial disparity in our prisons due to the higher rate of use of crack cocaine in black communities and powder cocaine in white.
African Americans and Latinos make up 30% of our population. They make up 60% of our inmates. About 1 in every 35 African American men, 1 in every 88 Latino men is serving time right now. Among white men, that number is 1 in 214.
Unless communities of color are inherently more criminal, one can see how the justice system is failing by over-criminalizing them. The war on drugs introduced new laws such as 3 strikes and mandatory minimum sentences that often over-penalize offenders and are main contributors to our incarceration problem and prison overcrowding. With the problems our prison and justice systems are facing, Americans need to start looking for solutions rather than ignoring the problem. Politicians like President Obama and Senators Rand Paul and Mike Lee are taking the proper steps to begin reducing our incarceration rate and reverse the effects the war on drugs has had on this country by introducing new legislation to lessen the penalty these laws carry.